Now, the rugby league legend Rob Burrow inspired so many people with his campaign to raise awareness of motor neurone disease before he sadly died in June last year. And alongside him through it all was his incredible wife, Lindsey.
Yeah, following Rob's diagnosis in 2019, Lindsey cared for him full-time while also working and raising their family.
Yeah, she's detailed her story in a new book, which she hopes will help others overcome challenges in their own lives.
Clean your teeth, Rob.
It was a story of love and devotion.
Put your collar on.
The care Lindsey Burrow gave to her husband Rob, once a legend of rugby league. He died in June last year from motor neuron disease.
Lindsey did not expect to sign up for this, but she puts me first and foremost. I'm not here without her sacrifice.
Stand. There we go.
The Burrows shared their experience to raise awareness of MND and the difficulties faced by carers.
I was very honoured that I got the privilege of looking after Rob, but the reality is that being a carer can be lonely, it can be isolating at times.
Come to see you. Well, very nice to finally see you.
Their story touched millions, including the Prince of Wales, who has paid tribute in the foreword to a new book by Lindsey, offering hope to others and to honour Rob's legacy.
Delighted to say Lindsey is with us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
I suppose but you would never have thought growing up that you would ever come to this point where you would write a book about your life.
No,
your experiences.
Absolutely.
And here we are.
So proud and honoured to be here today to announce my publication of the book, Take Care. It's been a huge roller coaster of a ride writing the book. Started writing the book in February when obviously Rob was still here, and sadly we lost Rob in June. But I think in many ways it's helped me through the grief. Writing the book, lots of kind of childhood memories in there, lots of from the wedding, up to the last day of Rob's final few hours.
And actually the book, I know it's very much specifically about your story, but it tells us all about taking care, doesn't it? It tells us all about what it means to care for whoever it is, to put your life just on pause for a moment at various points in the day and look after someone. Why was it so important to share that message?
For me, I really wanted to highlight and recognise and shine a light on the amazing work that the carers do. There are over 5 million carers in the UK that do what I do day in and day out, and I don't feel that they get the recognition and the reward and the support that they need. So for me, I was so fortunate, I was so honoured and privileged to be able to care for Rob, and I know he would have done the same for me had it been the other way around, but I really wanted to shine a light on caring, and I think what the book does is it shows the challenges that carers face. For me, it was juggling being a mum, being a physiotherapist within the NHS and trying to bring up a family, as well as caring for Rob, and you're constantly questioning, am I good enough? Am I enough? So I wanted to shine a light and really kind of highlight the role and the important role, because for me, carers are the backbone of society, and they save the NHS an equivalent of £162 billion a year, which is the equivalent of a second NHS service. So if sharing my story helps another person or another family that's going through a hard time or that's experienced loss, then that was why I wanted to do the book. And I think the key message from the book is that no matter how hard times get, there's always a way to keep going forward and to take care of those that we love.
You and Rob shared your experience with us here on Breakfast. We're seeing some of these pictures that we all remember, and we were all blown away by your devotion to him and your resilience and how you just kept everything going. Where does your strength come from? What has kept you going?
I think it was Rob, and I think it was his positive mental attitude, his bravery, his courage to kind of say, yes, this is the diagnosis, but I'm going to live life to its fullest. I'm going to live each and every day. I'm going to make as many happy memories with the children as I possibly can. And, Rob taught us all how to live. He was living with MND, but he didn't let that affect him. He accepted the diagnosis, but he was, he fought until his very last breath. And I think that just rippled through the whole family, and that positivity, because you looked at Rob and what he was going through, and you thought, if he can be positive, then then I should be positive too.
And he brought this disease to the attention of so many people around the world. I know one person that he was in touch with was actually the Prince of Wales, and that you have been in touch with as well. And Prince William has, in fact, written a foreword for the book, and he's recorded the audio version for the audio book. We can hear what the Prince of Wales has to say.
Despite the advanced nature of Rob's condition, I was struck by the incredible strength, positivity and resilience of Lindsey. Rob told me that Lindsey was far tougher than any of the men he had played with or against over the years. I know that I am not alone in feeling great admiration for how she has kept going in the face of such adversity. This book contains Lindsey's story of compassion, perseverance and love. By sharing her story, she is shining a light on those who are dealing with incredibly difficult situations, putting others' needs before their own, and making great personal sacrifices every day. I hope this book provides all those going through their own challenges with some comfort and optimism, and that it inspires us all to look out for one another.
And Lindsey, when you hear him say those words, does that even sink in?
Not really. It's quite surreal. I think, you know, the support that we've had from His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, has just been overwhelming, I think, and just the kindness and the compassion and the support that he's given us as a family has just been incredible. You know, I'm so full of admiration, just so grateful to him. And, you know, Rob, that day where we got to meet him at Headingley, when Rob and Kevin were awarded the CBEs, you know, it was a day that we'll remember and treasure as a family forever. And, yeah, just extremely grateful to His Royal Highness.
And he seems to really get the idea of caring, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
It's something that obviously clearly resonates with him.
Absolutely. And I think what struck me is in the foreword of the book, you know, he says how Rob's story has given him hope and strength. And, you know, I think ultimately that's why I wanted to do the book, was to, you know, hopefully, you know, do my little bit to continue to help give people hope and inspire people and show that, you know, even in the darkest of times, love and determination can still light the way forward.
And he and Catherine and the kids have also seen dark times, haven't they, over the last few months? So to know that you're keeping the royal family as well as lots of other families going across the country, what does that mean to you? What does that give you back?
You know, it brings a huge smile to my face, just knowing we've done as little bit, just, you know, as I say, if the book helps another person or another family that's going through a difficult time, then that makes it all worthwhile. And it was just about doing our little bit to share our story. Rob was a very private family man, so for him to open his doors and show the world the brutality of MND and bring it to the forefront. And I think, you know, the money and the fundraising that's been raised, now it's over £20 million that's been raised for MND charities, is just phenomenal. And, you know, I feel so proud to be here as Rob's wife. And, you know, we'll continue to bang the drum and continue, you know, his legacy. Talking
about continuing, you're taking on not just one but two big challenges, aren't you?
Yes, I've set myself a goal of running 2 marathons. I'm going to run for Rob, so I'm going to do the London Marathon in April, and then 2 weeks later I'll be on the start line for the Rob Burrow Leeds Marathon.
So 2 in 2 weeks?
2 in 2 weeks, yes.
Lindsey, how's the training going?
OK. I won't be winning any world records, but we'll, you know, I think just to be on the start line and you know, to cross the finish line is what I'm hoping to achieve.
I mean, that is tough. What's keeping you going through the training?
Just the thought of Rob and how he was so resilient and how he was so brave. And, you know, I'm determined to make Rob proud, and I'm running for the Leeds Hospital charity, who's doing the Care Centre appeal, and also for the Leeds Rugby Foundation, which are obviously 2 charities that are close to my heart.
And the centre, you mentioned the Care Centre appeal. What's that about?
Yeah, so there's work is currently under construction. Over £6.8 million has now been raised to build a specialist M&D care centre in Leeds in Rob's name, which will hopefully open in probably the autumn time. So we're really looking forward to that, and just having a specialist centre where patients can go that meets the needs is going to make a huge difference, and that's part of Rob's legacy. So really excited.
Well, we all know how proud he was of you and how proud he would be of you right now. And are you doing OK? The kids doing all right?
Yeah, it's been a tough few months, but, you know, we're getting there. We have as good and bad days, but, you know, I think Rob wanted us to be happy, and, you know, I made that promise to Rob that we'll continue his legacy and, you know, continue to be as happy as we can.
And for people who might be watching this now who are caring for someone, and I know caring can be a really lonely job, what would you say to them?
My advice is to make time for yourself, to make sure that you have those support mechanisms, whether that's going for a coffee with a friend, having somebody to talk to. I think that's really important, that you have that time out, you have that time for you. For me, that was through the running. Yeah, I enjoy going out and having the run, but whether it's to go for a coffee or just meet up with some friends, I think that's really important, to have those networks, to have those communications, and to reach out for support when you need it.
Lindsey, thank you so much. Good luck with that running.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. We'll keep an eye on that, on your progress. Well done.
And take care. A memoir of love, family and never giving up by Lindsey Burrow is out tomorrow.